Hey guys, it's Jaybird here, and I'm going to be starting a little series where I'm going to create an entire map from start to finish, and I'm going to record absolutely everything that I do to create that map. And you guys can almost use this as a tutorial if you want, or you can just watch to kind of see how I do things. So we're going to start off by just the very beginning. I have Launcher open, and I'm going to start off by just creating a map. So the thing is, I'm going to do this for both zombies and multiplayer, but I'm going to start off with it being a multiplayer map, and I'll put more destruction and the zombie stuff later. So we're going to start off with multiplayer, so we'll call it MP, and then I've decided on the layout and the style of my map that I'm going to go for. It's going to be a map where we will have a center that is going to be dividing two sides of the map with a river, and so the river is going to be the underwater section of the map. If I can figure out how to do a current, we'll probably try to do that as well. That'd be really cool. And there's going to be one main bridge that crosses the two sides, and then there's going to probably be, since I want to do 3 lanes like what Treyarch usually does, I'm going to do the main bridge will be the main lane on the beginning, or the middle, and then on the two sides we'll have some sort of way of connecting across. We'll figure that out later. And I'm definitely going to get your guys' input on this map as well, so we can kind of have a community-based map on seeing what do you guys want to see in a map, and I could try to implement that. So what I've decided was I was going to call the map MP Divide. Like, I like the idea because it's divided by a river, so we're going to call it Divide. So there we go, we got that created, we got our map here, so I'm going to just select that. We don't need to do any compiling yet, we're just going to jump right in. So I could right click or whatever like I've done in my tutorials. We're going to jump right into Radiant. So let's let this load up. Minute here. I got some reference images on my other monitor here, so I can just kind of look at some ideas that I got going. So we're just gonna jump right in here. So we're in the map. I'm not gonna use really any of this stuff here. I'm just gonna try to get rid of anything that's kind of in the way. Doesn't look like we really got too much going on here. We got a reflection probe, some spawn points. I'm guessing this is the camera for the rounds, yeah, intermission. So that's kind of like where it would show the camera of the game. So we're gonna just kind of start off. If we want our center of the map, I'm probably gonna have it horizontally through here. So I'm gonna start off by, this is gonna be a lot of terrain for the beginning, but we'll go into some buildings and whatnot later. So let's go in and just create a terrain patch. Probably gonna go about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll go 6 wide, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, somewhere around there. So I'm gonna start off. Let's just get a nice dirt texture as our base. We're gonna blend some grass and whatnot later. So we'll go. Ooh, I like that. That first dirt that popped up looks pretty cool. We could do some dirt trails and whatnot, but if this is gonna be, most of this is gonna be underwater. So we're going to start off with a patch. So we're going to go terrain, simple terrain patch. And what I'm going to do is just kind of add some loop cuts in here. And we're going to kind of warp it down so it's kind of like a, almost like a dome shape, or not dome, but like a little arch going there. We'll have some paths coming up, and then the bridge is going to go right along the center. So we'll start off with that. I'm kind of feeling having the bridge come along here, and a path might come right up beside the bridge. And I'm thinking like kind of flanking side, so like an S shape going on here. So we'll go up this way. So what I'm thinking is we're probably going to need to create a bunch of loop cuts along here if we're going to want to move up there. So I'm going to deselect from this, and I'm going to start stretching this out this way. So I'm going to, what I've done is copy and pasted, and then I'm just gonna remove some of the loops, and then so I can get a bit further up here, but it's gonna be more towards this direction. So our path is gonna follow an S shape coming up here. So it'll probably come up like this, and we'll kind of warp this as well, kind of go with it, and we want this to go uphill. And you'll notice my patch is inverted here, so what I can do is I can go Control I to flip the texture, and I'm just gonna light map, and there we go. So we kind of got this started. I'm probably going to branch up a bit more. We'll see where that goes. Come on. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing to over here because I kind of want this symmetrical. It's going to be like flipped over the axis there. So we're going to go like this. Bring this over here a bit. And invert it like before. Oh, I selected the wrong loop cut there. And bring this up. Okay, so we kind of got our basic shape going on here. So probably going to make this a lot deeper. So what I'm guessing is I could have like a drop off almost, where it gets really deep in the center. And we're also going to get our bridge. So our bridge is going to come along the middle here. It's not going to be too big of a bridge. Let's see. Let's get a concrete going. So this is probably going to take quite a few videos if I do this in parts. So I can't really estimate how long this is going to take me, but it's going to be a while. I definitely like to spend a lot of time when making maps. What I'm doing here is just, because I'm trying to be optimized, is I want my bridge to only have the faces that are going to be shown to have texture. So the rest of it I don't want to be textured because this is going to keep the optimization of the map greater. I'm going to put like sides on this and whatnot, and there's going to be a different bottom. I'm actually thinking a bridge is probably going to have an arch to it, so we're probably not actually going to use a brush. We're probably going to go with another terrain patch here. Or actually I could probably go curve patch. We'll go 3x3, and I'm going to select the center, and I'm just going to arc it up, but not too much. I'd say that's probably about good there. So let's get that natural. Actually, we probably want, yeah, there we go. And what I'm going to do is we want thickness to this bridge. So I'm going to copy and paste this patch. I'm going to bring it down. That's probably how thick I'm going to want it. I'm going to flip the patch over using Control-I. Don't worry about the textures right now. The lighting's all weird because I haven't baked it yet. We'll just get some detail going first. Then I'm going to go along the side of this, probably about 16 units thick, and I'm going to make a it's going to be a square cylinder so that it'll go along the side of it, and then that way I can kind of get a brush shape but still get the arch. I went over this in the patch detailing tutorial, but you know, one of the good uses of it, so it doesn't just need to be arches on buildings, it can also be arches in the sense of a bridge. So we got that. This is going to have to be a bit thicker than the top of this. But if I bake that, you'll notice the texture should fix a bit there. Huh, that's interesting. It almost looks rounded because of the shading of it. But what I'm thinking is I could probably get the bottom half of this to go a bit thicker. So we'll just select the bottom parts. We'll go about that thick. It's really pretty good. We'll have some support beams going across the bridge. So I figure in this video we'll probably focus a lot on the bridge and the terrain. In later videos we'll probably do a bit more on the actual side of the sides of the map here. I like to do this in parts and try to kind of really detail certain areas, make them look good. I might do a pass over later for detailing, but this is kind of the way that I like to work. It's definitely up to you on the style that you want to go for. And I might end up converting these into patches later, or yeah, into terrain patches later, because look silly looking right now. Okay. So I'm just gonna really quickly just copy paste this to the other side. Just a small little bridge. And just to get an idea of size here, I'm gonna bring up models. I'm gonna go to default, learn how to spell default. Yeah, one of these guys. So this is about the size of a player. So we're looking at almost a 2-lane. I'd say that's roughly 2 lanes. Okay, so I could make this a bit thicker, actually a bit wider, and then kind of have almost a sidewalk. I'm gonna do that. So we'll drag these out a bit, and then we'll do a bit wider of a bridge, and we can kind of have like a little sidewalk going along the edges. Actually, it'd be neat to have it only on one side. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a sidewalk on one side of the bridge. Oh, I'm dragging that the wrong way. And so the sidewalk's gonna be over on this side here. And I'm going to probably be blending a lot of dirts onto this. Actually, why don't we first try to do the sidewalk side of this. And then, so we probably got like a curb texture. Curb. We got a few there. I like this one here. We'll probably end up going with that one. So I could probably just end up taking my side for this and make it smaller. Where's the autosave going? Yeah, about that big. We don't need it coming down this far. That's a pretty thick curb, so I'll make it a bit thinner as well. I'd say that's probably good. Go with the curb texture. I'm actually going to convert this one right away because I want to get rid of the bottom. So what I'm going to do is go curve to terrain. So now it's a terrain patch. I'm going to split this. So now the bottom, I'm going to hide this. The bottom was separate. Unhide. And that should be good. Kind of got a curve going there. It looks like I could probably make it a bit thicker. Let's say there. And then on this side, I'm actually going to bring this up and slightly over so we can get a bit of a crease. So about 1 unit. And we're going to bring this one over. Actually, I'm going to get an extra loop going here. We're going to have to make sure that this is at the same height as the other one, so I'm going to drag this up, and then I'm going to select this loop as well, and then bring it over 1 unit. So we kind of get the little boxy shape to it, and the reason why I did this is if I can curve it down, I can get the sidewalk going with the same sort of, like a little crease in there. So what I'm going to do is I just copy and pasted this. I'm going to do my same trick as before, as just getting rid of it. So the reason why I'm doing this is it keeps my one of my loops in line with the other one. So I can do that, and then I'm going to copy and paste this one. This loop's going to move up and then over, and then this is going to go all the way over to, I want to make sure that I'm actually on the grid there. So this one's going to move all the way over to here, all the way to the edge. So this is our little wall here. And I don't know if there's sidewalk. Do we have sidewalk stuff? Huh, that actually doesn't look too bad. I wouldn't have really thought to go with a hexagon shaped thing, but I might actually go with that. That looks pretty cool. Really good normal map on that. I don't really see any other sidewalk textures that stand out to me. This almost looks like the sort of thing that you'd have at the beginning of your sidewalk, so I could probably use that maybe. I want this to be joined in with that. we're gonna go natural. And we'll bake some dirt into that. And so yeah, that's kind of our sidewalk coming along there. I'm going to start by just duplicating this. We're gonna select this edge loop, get rid of that one, and drag this over. So what I'm gonna do is blend some dirt onto the side here. So we're gonna go for a dirt texture. I'm almost tempted to get a mud texture too, actually, or a mud texture instead. That looks like a good mud texture, although it doesn't look like it's decal. So I'm gonna click G and do vertex color. So what I'm doing here is I'm gonna do some blending. So it allows me to kind of fade out a texture. This one's not a blend texture though, so I'm gonna have to pick a better one. You'll see what I mean in a second when I get. Oh, there we go. You see how we got that dirt blending there? How it kind of fades into this one. So if I had the alpha, so I have the alpha selected down here, but if I had it full, it just looks like normal. But I can bring all these vertices down to 0 for their alpha, and this is still up to max, so then what we get is like a blended dirt coming along the edge. And I'm going to actually do the exact same thing for the wall. I'm going to have it come up the wall slightly, but my sidewalk there is being a butt, and it's not letting me select it. So there we go. I'm going to select this one. I'm going to move it over directly on top of this one, so I'm going to have to move down a grid. And then I'm going to drag this up. So what it's going to do is it's going to blend up the wall. It doesn't need to be too high. Okay. We'll invert the texture. I'm going to hit normal. And there we go. So we kind of got some dirt kind of going up the wall slightly now. I'm going to do more of a curb, or not a curb, but more of a railing going along this. But we're going to do the same thing to the other side here. I'm going to copy paste this again. I am going to just drag this over, and then we're going to get some dirt going. Same dirt as before, and I'm going to bring this down. So a good trick with these patches is we want to make them non-colliding, so they're not taking up any collision. Collision's gonna, like if you have a lot of things that create collision, it's gonna take up more, it's gonna be more things for your game to process. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have those selected. I'm gonna go right click and come down to make non-colliding, because if the player shoots it, whatever. We don't care. But you see how we kind of get this dirt kind of blending effect now. And I'm going to blend one more texture along this. We're just going to pick maybe some pebbles or rocks. See if we can find a pebble texture. See, the interesting thing about these ones is they might actually have some neat effects to them. So, why does it seem like I got another thing selected? Oh, that's right. Okay. I forgot we got this one down here. So when I was actually selecting 3 vertices when I was trying to add an extra loop in there. So what I'm going to do is kind of select the outsides, and I'm going to fade these ones out. And then I'm also going to just kind of select random vertices throughout this and just kind of make them less visible. So they're not going to be completely, maybe like 10%. We'll kind of just go through and pick some vertices at random and just kind of lower this a bit. Actually, you know what? Just as a base, I'm going to select them all and bring them down to there. And then now we'll kind of go through and make some random ones set to 0. That way we get a bit of randomness to it. I'm just picking random ones here. So we'll bring that down. So we kind of got some pebbles going along there now. And we're going to do the same thing, make non-colliding. And there we go. We kind of got a sidewalk going. For the road we can actually bring back a bit now, because we got our sidewalk. So bring that right up to there. Natural, and then I'm going to do the same thing, convert this to a patch. So I'm going to copy and paste this one, and we're going to select all of these vertices and bring it over. We're gonna blend some more dirt. So I'm gonna click U to show which textures I've used so far, because I only want to use a certain amount of textures. I don't want to just keep adding random textures, because or else you're gonna hit a texture limit. Although I'm pretty sure it's pretty high now, so it's not too big of a deal, but you know. So we're gonna make this non-colliding, set it to natural. In our curve, I'm gonna blend some dirt on it as well. So we'll do the dirt again. I'm gonna select this one and go 0, this, and this. Apply, and then make non-colliding. So now we kind of get a bit of dirt coming up the edge there, a little bit on the crease, although we gotta make this natural, as well as this. You can see the texture's all weird there, so we're gonna go natural, and I'm gonna have to rotate one more time. And then we'll show that, and there we go, we got some dirt. We could probably make it a bit more faint. This probably should go a bit fainter as well. And just to, actually, before I do that, since these patches have their textures touching, or the patch touching, what I'm gonna do is just select the two and hit W to join and do natural, because it's one less entity. Now we got one patch instead of two patches. And I could probably actually do the same thing with the dirt here. All three of those I can hit W, natural, and we got one dirt patch now. So now I'm going to select the dirt, and I'm going to just the areas that are a bit with the texture, the darker areas, I'm actually going to bring down a bit. So we'll select all of those and this loop, and I'm going to hit G again to bring this back up, and we'll just kind of make it a bit fainter, because it was full before, so I'm going to do, I'd say probably around there. So it's a bit more, it's not as visible as before, but we still kind of got the dirt going. So to create some variety in this, or variance, I'm going to just kind of drag these out randomly, kind of move them around a bit. And then that way, it doesn't look like it's all just one straight line of dirt. It's going to have some randomness to it as well. And that should be good for that side. Okay, I'll have to hit normal on that in a second. Since it's on specific verts, I'm gonna have to actually make sure it's on the line though. Okay, so we got our dirt going. I'm gonna have to go natural one more time. Almost looks like I'd probably go light map. Light map's probably gonna be better for that one. So you see how we kind of got like a little bit of variance going along that. We'll light map this one. Although, no, the curve's going to make it a bit difficult, so I'm going to stick with natural for that. Alright, so we're going to do the same blend on the other side. And what I'm going to do is bring this down. Bring it to about there. We'll add the variance now. Actually, no, before we do that, we should copy and paste this up the wall of it again. So I'm going to go and just select this, bring it in on top of that one. I'm going to drag it up the wall just like the other side. About there. Go to vertex mode. We're going to invert this, and I'm going to select the original dirt again. Sorry, that's my phone buzzing. And then I'm going to join the two, natural, and then we're just going to kind of create some variance like before. Just kind of move them around. Ooh, the camera just shifted randomly. I didn't even touch the camera. So we'll create some variance and light map, non-colliding. So we kind of got the road going. We're gonna probably add some more. I'm actually thinking maybe we do maybe we should do the sidewalk on both sides, because this feels plain on this side now. You know what? Let's get rid of that. See, you always change your mind. At first, I didn't even think I was gonna do a sidewalk, and now look at this. We're spending this whole time making a sidewalk. Okay, so here's the interesting thing. I'm gonna copy, paste, and flip this, so it's really easy. So copy, paste. So I have a duplicate of it right now. I'm going to go to selection, flip, and flip on the x-axis. Since this is patches, they're going to invert the texture when it flipped it, but for now I'm just going to line this up. So I'm going to Control I and bring this back to where the curb ends, and then that should be good. There we go. That was quick and easy. So now I got the sidewalk kind of going there. We'll probably end up doing a thicker rail going along the top of this. Kind of want to get some cracks going down the road, or maybe a better cement texture. Let's see if road exists. Sorry about that. Okay, so nothing road related, although that's just stupid. So we'll go back to concrete and we'll just look for anything that looks road like. Oh wait, street. No, that's just gonna be street lines and stuff like that. Curbs. Okay, so we'll go back to concrete. Nothing's really standing out to me right now. Be nice if they had like a cracked concrete. All these different textures here. Oh, speak of the devil. I wonder, we could probably blend some more different concrete, but we need a blend. Is this a blend? We will find out. Doesn't look like it because it's doing this shimmer thing. Okay, we'll find another concrete texture that's like a blend, and then that way. Yeah, no, not that pattern thingy. Because I don't want that many cracks on it, but I want it to still look like a beat up road. Yeah, nope. That one's blend. Okay, so I'm just gonna add some loops here, and then I'm gonna just kind of go through and make certain areas less visible so that you can see the cracks coming through. So we'll do G again. I'm actually not a big fan of this texture, to be honest. I'm gonna pick a different one. We need another one that's a blend though. So many textures to choose from, and I can't find anything that I like. Some gravel. Huh. I don't really see anything good. At least nothing that's a blend texture, that is. Yeah, none of these are blend textures. You'll know it's a blend texture when it doesn't do the shimmering. doing that shimmer again. As much as I like that cracked texture, I don't think it's going to work well with the cement textures that we have. So I think I'm going to have to go a plain cement and then do a cracked texture over top of it, unfortunately. So we'll go with this. And we'll select this one, and we're going to have to go for cracks, like a decal. And then I can blend the cracks out of it. So I don't really want them on the edges. And then we'll just kind of go through, actually, yeah. Go through and just remove some of them. Make non-colliding, and then we're gonna do more pebbles. So we've already got our pebble texture. And then I'm thinking just some mud as well. Alright, so we kind of got this going now. The road's looking a bit more beat up. Not 100% happy with it, but you know, it's getting there. I'm probably going to do some support beams under here pretty quick, but I just want to do one thing to the sides. I'm going to bring it up probably a few units there. Actually, you know what, let's move it up one more. That way I can kind of get an even thing going here. So this will move up to here somewhere. Wait, where's it going? You know what? Let's just select them all and do it that way. Okay, so we'll go up 4. Okay. Select this one, and this one. And then we're going to select the bottom row and move that up to match it. You'll see what I'm doing here in a second. We're just going to be creating a little top trim part. That's going to overhang a bit. It might have a slightly different texture. Try to see if I can find a trim texture that might actually work with it. A lot of these are mainly for buildings, so I'll have to see if I can find something that could fit with the edge of the curb. Actually, that's not a bad idea to use the curb texture itself. Why don't we try to use that? There it is. Natural. The only issue is it's twice as big as it needs to be. So I'm just gonna kind of bring it down half in size, and hopefully that'll kind of fix our texture issue there. So we'll go natural again, and that fixes it on the sides but not the top. So what I'm going to do here is convert this into a terrain patch, and I'm going to split it so that I can kind of have more control over what is going on with the actual top and the bottom, I guess, as well. So I'm holding Alt and just dragging to make the texture move. Actually, you're probably going to see more of that crease on this side, so what I'm going to do is do -90 to flip it over. Get that crease right along there. And I'm going to select the tops and the sides, copy and paste that. We're going to take our dirt texture and apply it. So I just middle mouse to do that really quickly. And then I'm going to blend it onto this. So there's a lot of blending you do to make things look good. Oh yeah, make that one texture so that the edges are the same when I do it. Or not one texture, one patch. Non-colliding. Natural. Oh, whoops, I had the wrong thing selected. Natural. Oh wow, it does it incrementally when I accidentally dragged it like that. Okay, natural. I'm just noticing that this side seems to be going further. Okay, and I'm gonna cheat a little bit here and just copy and paste this to the other side. Oh, we forgot to get the bottom part as well. So we'll just go and select all of this and then just slap it on the other side, and then we got kind of I'll probably make them thicker, taller rails and whatnot on them. But for now, that is pretty good. Kinda got our bridge going. We're going to want to have some supports, so I'm thinking of having a cross beam through the center. Water will kind of go around both edges, and then we'll have a cross beam here, cross beam there. So we're going to do some concrete for that. We could probably do some metal as well. But yeah, I like that sidewalk a lot actually. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is let's get some concrete going. Some more concrete. And these will probably be, actually I'm gonna do this sort of concrete. We'll warp it up slightly. So just kind of get that going. And I'm gonna rotate that texture so it's going up the wall. We'll have that on the inside of the rail, and it'll go all the way up to the top with a cross this going, and what I'm going to do is just going to have this go across, but this is going to have to come up to where the bridge comes up there. Actually, you know what? I got an idea to make this look pretty cool. So our beam that's going along here for the railing, we're going to get support beams kind of going along the center. Is that centered? I'm going to just double check that this is centered, so I'm going to just kind of use this. I'm just using this as a guideline right now to see where this sits. Yeah, that one's dead center. So what I did is I just kind of measured out this side and then made sure it was the same on that side to make sure that they're kind of in line. And then I'm going to drag this down. So we got this beam going in the middle, and we'll probably do a total of 3 on the inside. I'm going to go to a bigger grid. We'll do the same trick, the measuring trick, so I'm going to do this. See how it's just like I fit it to the in between the two there, and then you see how it's the same there, so it means it's basically right in the middle, which is perfect. Because we want to make sure that this is kind of like up to standard. The bridge isn't going to collapse. So what I'm going to do is kind of bring this down a bit, and I'm thinking of metal. This metal actually might be pretty cool. Although, we'll keep that going with the cement first, and what I'm going to do is just kind of have like a metal beam that goes across. Remember, we're going to be optimizing things, so this face is going to be caulk texture, so it doesn't get rendered. Remember, this texture, the caulk texture, does not get rendered. So I'm just going to kind of use this edging tool, the cutting splitting tool. Hopefully have gone over that by the time of this video comes out. Who knows? And we're just going to drag this across. So that went all the way to the edge of this. And then we're going to drag this, a duplicate of this. And that was on the inside as well. The thing is, support beams are usually arched on the inside as well. I'm thinking of sticking with a flat one though. So we'll go with that. I'm thinking of copying and pasting this on the other side of this. And we might put some bolts on it as well. So we got that. We'll eventually do some graffiti and whatnot. Oops. Should have had that come to there. Optimization, the top of these aren't visible, so we'll make them a caulk texture. And the bottoms aren't visible, so we'll make those a caulk texture. And okay. I'm going to add one more support in the middle for the bigger supports. So that's not bad. Match that one up. And we're probably going to have like an, what would it be, like an I-beam going through here. It'll be attached to the beam. So we'll get a metal I-beam. I wonder if they have I-beam. Beam, maybe. You know what? That's gonna work. That's gonna work good. So I'm just gonna go through and apply this texture. Top part's not gonna be visible. Although if you boost jumped, maybe it will be. Who knows? So I'll texture it. So that's going to go all the way through. And then to make it an actual I-beam, I'm going to drag out probably about that much. Whoa, that moved weird. And there we go. The insides of all these aren't visible, so we're going to be optimizing this. I'm just thinking maybe, should I move this down maybe? Like so it's flush with the top of that. What I could do is kind of like have it offset and do two of them. Not 100% sure what I want to do with these beams. You know what, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to have them about halfway over the edge. And then I'm also going to use them along this, so in the middle of the bridge. As well as the other side. So we'll go and copy and paste all this. The thing is, now that we've got this part in here, you can't really see anything, so we'll just get rid of those. And I-beam on this side, this, all of our stuff here. So I think we got the whole shebang selected, so we're going to copy paste that. I'm just going to rotate it around. And six. Okay, I'm gonna actually delete this just so I want everything to be lined up perfectly, so I'm just gonna kind of go through. What I was doing there is I was just counting how many units from the center it was. So what I'm gonna do is I counted from the grid size that I'm currently on, it's 6 moves over. So I got that. We're going to copy, paste, rotate again, and I'm going to line it up with the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there we go. We got that. I'm going to now select all the faces at the bottom of this thing on every single one, and we're going to do some more blending. Deselected that. So I'm going to do these all at once just to make it a bit quicker. If you feel it's easier to do this individually, then go right ahead. That's your own decision. So I'm going to do faces to terrain. So it's now going to convert all those faces into terrains, or to terrain patches, and I'm going to go into vertex mode and drag all that down. So just so we're a bit closer to the top there. Oh wow, it's amazing how my terrain's actually following the grid like that, so I can actually go right on, except for this pesky side here. I'm gonna have to bring that down slightly. Okay. So I'm gonna do our dirt that we did from the top up here. It's gonna be one of our main things that we're gonna be blending. That was our dirt. Okay. So I'm just gonna non-collide that right away so don't forget. We'll take the tops and we're gonna blend that down. G So we kind of get some dirt at the bottom, and I'm probably going to do a little trick here with each. I'm gonna have to do this each individually actually, so I'm gonna go and hide this because I'm having issues selecting it. I'm gonna copy paste. This is gonna be an interesting one. Yes, that was my phone buzzing. Probably getting a call. Actually, no, it's just a message. Okay. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually just blending it over the ground now. Just gonna try to make it a bit more rounded by adding a loop in there. I'm just kind of rounding out the like the edges here. So we'll do that. Non-colliding, light map. And then I'm going to copy paste this to the other posts. So non-colliding. I noticed in World at War sometimes when you copy and paste patches that were non-colliding, the new one is colliding, so just out of habit I always make it non-colliding when I do that. Oh boy, one of our patches is in the ground. See that? Even this side's on it like that as well. Oh, all three of them are like that. Weird. Okay. Oh, it's because I dragged that corner in. Gotcha. Okay. So we'll just do this all at once. I'm going to go from the side. You can see this one came under. There we go. And now we're fixed. So we got our dirt blending, non-colliding, just to make sure I got them all. Copy, paste, rotate this around, and we're going to bring it to the other side. Okay, that looks all good to me, although it's above the ground. See, this is where this side was on a different angle. So we're gonna have to go through the lowest grid size and then just kind of drop it to the ground. Players can't actually see 0.25 off the ground, so even if there's that slight gap there, it's not visible. Okay, so we got the dirt, non-colliding, and there we go. So we got the dirt kind of blended on that. I'm gonna just do a little lighting bake right now, get everything looking good. So we got our bridge kind of going. Definitely going to need a lot more work on it, but it's definitely a good start to this. The other thing is, what I'm going to do is, so we don't mess up our angles that we had going there, but I still want to have more of a curve on the center, is I'm going to do this, and then add some more loops in here. So we're going to go from the side, maybe bring this up a bit. So it's a little more rounded and a little less sharp. Like map. So we got a neat little bridge going on there. And what else do I want to do with that? I think that's about it for that. I could start blending a bit of mud down the middle. So you'll notice our kind of stream is a bit linear right now. I gotta be careful what I do with the insides of this one, because remember our angles we want to keep perfect, or else it's going to mess those up, the textures that we fixed. So I'll just kind of go through, move this around. I want to keep this on the same line there though. Might be off by like 1. Yeah, there we go. And did I knock this one off the grid? No, I didn't. So light map. Just gonna kind of go through and select some extra ones to make a bit less. Alright. So we'll probably get some rocks and whatnot going through there as well. So I'm just going to really quickly add some rocks. There are a lot of rock models, so lots to choose from. What I like to do is just kind of throw a bunch everywhere, and then I'll go and just kind of model scale some stuff. And then you can also rotate the models slightly. Ooh, that one rotated weird. Probably because I wasn't in rotate mode and I was moving it. And what I'm going to do is just kind of select a couple. And I'm going to bring up the entity window by clicking N. Go to model scale. We'll do 1.5 on these ones, make them a bit bigger. And I'm going to copy paste this guy. We're going to go back to models and select a different rock so they don't all look the same. This button up here is going to drop it, so this is going to allow it to drop to whatever the floor is. This is going to allow it to, actually I think this one's to do the angles, this one's going to do the floor, so I can kind of have them deselected. But so if I have this selected, it's going to drop my object to the ground with the, well, it's actually going to match the object's angles to the ground. If I have this one selected, it's going to drop it to the ground. So if you notice here, that dropped it to the ground. If I don't have it, it's just going to kind of match the angles. So if I had my angles kind of rotated like that, it's going to match the angles. So if I have both selected, it's going to match angles and drop to the ground. Kind of a neat tool. We had it in World at War, so nothing new. Just throw some rocks everywhere, and then I'll probably get, they probably got some more of like pebbly rocks. I wonder if I can just say pebble strip. Nah, those are like 2D things. We'll do rock again. And well, they got pebbles there, but they're kind of like not the type of rock I'm looking for. Way too much to choose from. Yeah, that's more like it. I'll just throw these around a bit. Remember, this is all going to be underwater, so I'm probably going to put some seaweed and stuff like that as well. And some vegetation. We'll go with that later. So where are our spawn points? Because at the end of every video, I'm going to want to jump into game and just kind of show you off what we got. It's not much yet, because terrain is a very slow process. Very slow. And so we're just going to drag our spawn points in under the bridge. Although we can just no clip up there anyways. So we'll bake the lighting one last time. Save. I'm going to close down Radiant. Yes, I want to export the lighting so that it will be in the compile. So here we go. We're gonna go over the compile right now. So I'm gonna do a full compile. I'm gonna compile link. I want to have full, and I'm not gonna do like a high lighting. So we're gonna do build. So you'll just notice we don't have too much in the map right now, so it should go pretty quick. The way you can tell that it's done is it's gonna say, if you have link selected, it's gonna say done, then processing, then done again. So it's gonna go through all the compiling right now. It's literally gonna do it in order. So right now it is just doing the compile. So it's going to go through, do the map, geo, and whatnot, and then afterwards it's going to do the lighting, and then afterwards it's going to do the scripts. So I believe it's done with the compile. It's moving on to lights, LED export. So yeah, it's going over lighting right now. And then I believe it's starting to do the link. Oh yeah, I forgot I left my character body in there, so it's like it's gonna convert that mesh. Lovely. Oh well, the default map already has the default character in it somewhere hidden on a hidden layer. So right now it's going through, it's converting the images and putting them into your mod, so it allows your map to be able to view those. Luckily Treyarch made this a lot more optimized, and they don't actually include these in the download when you download the map, because before, if you were to upload a map file, it would actually include all the textures and everything, even if everybody else downloading it already had it, because they're base game textures. So for instance, I uploaded one of my zombie maps just as a test, and the thing was a 1.5 gigabyte download, so that was huge. Now we're looking more at around 300 to 400 megabytes, which is a lot more manageable. So it's still going through converting the images. Right now it's doing the linking process. So after this, it'll say done, then processing, and then it will do done again. And then that's how we know that we are actually done with the map, or done with the actual compile here. I don't have ignore errors checked, because first of all, if I have an error, I'm going to address it right away. That's one of the things that I like to do. I don't want a map with errors. Second of all, I've never really used it, to be honest, so I don't know what it does. So I just leave it unchecked. And we're gonna leave, for some reason, run only works by itself. It might as well have just been a button by itself, but for some reason you can't compile the map and have run selected at the same time. It'll just do the compile. Alright. We're already at a 1 hour long video here, so as soon as we get our little test in, then that's going to be it for this part of the very first mapping of Divide. So this is going to be a multiplayer map first, and then we're going to be going over the zombie aspects later. I'm still going to keep doing tutorials on the side, but I'd say once every couple days we'll go into the Divide and just kind of go through and add some more detail, add some more map. So that's the plan. Tutorials and map. I know a lot of people are thinking, okay, we need some tutorials on zombies and whatnot. Don't worry guys, I'm going to be doing some like doors, blockers, mystery box, perks, you name it. I'll go over everything, to be honest. There's a lot of stuff that people need to know about, and not a lot of documentation on how to do it. So somebody's got to do it. So we're still going through converting images here. Bit of a process. Here we go. We got our first done, linking, processing, and it's going to say done. And there we go. Now the build, now it doesn't say cancel, now it says build, so we're going to go run, deselect everything, build, and now what's going to happen is it's going to load up Black Ops 3, and it's going to go right to the loading screen. It's going to load right into the map. So here we go. Any minute. Black Ops 3 is up. for those of you who've been following me on Twitter, so I got that new setup going right now for this video with, I got my tablet in my lap here, and it's recording the audio through my blue snowball mic, with the desktops recording my actual screen right now, with the whole, like me jumping into Black Ops 3 and doing everything in Radiant. So 2 computers just to make this video. Kind of a silly setup, but you know, what do you do? Here we go. Loading up Team Death. Roll once online. Probably working with his Model 1887 again. Okay. So, as you can see, we spawned in under the bridge. Remember, this was just a Kickstarter to this. I know it was 1 hour long and we didn't really get much done, but terrain is not a fun thing to work with, although I enjoy it. But look at that, guys. We got a bridge going. We'll just UFO to get up there. Our little default guy. It'll be interesting because you'll be able to like prone with this archway. I might destroy one of the railings and have it so you can just drop down, or maybe have like a crate that you jump over and then jump into the water. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one, guys. We'll continue on the Divide in a couple days or in a day or two. I'm really looking forward to making this map for you guys, and I hope you guys want to kind of add your own feedback into what you guys want to see in this map, and what you guys think of the layout, what you guys want to see. So that's going to be it, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Alright? See you guys later.